We're constantly being told to be afraid. We have gathered here today because we believe in something greater than fear. We believe in compassion. We believe that everyone should have a right to be treated with dignity and respect. We believe that everyone has a right to seek safety. We are here to say, open the borders, safe passage for all. About a year ago, the Finnish government began closing border crossings on the Finnish-Russia border. The border has been completely closed to individuals since 15th of December last year. The pushback law, which allows removals of people without asylum process, was adopted during the summer. Several law changes attacking migrants' rights and rights of asylum seekers have followed. With all this, we have witnessed an erosion of fundamental rights previously thought impossible in Finland. We cannot allow this to continue. The current border and immigration policies are not about security, they are about exclusion. The government claims to base the border closure to security threats, which are never really specified or explained. This is in itself dangerous. This fuels racist narratives and stigmatizes people on the move, refugees and migrants. Fear is understandable. We all know the tragic context of the border closure, Russia's brutal war of aggression against Ukraine. But let me ask you this. How does closing our borders to people fleeing violence and persecution, including by Putin's government, make us any safer? Does turning away those in desperate need really protect us? Or does it undermine the very values we claim to uphold? Last year alone, it is estimated that over 8,000 migrants lost their lives trying to cross borders in search of safety. Some like to think of the situation in the Mediterranean and the situation on our eastern border as completely separate issues. But the truth is that they are deeply interconnected, both part of the pattern of militarizing borders and disregarding human life by the states of the global north. They are also connected in a very concrete way, because when one door is closed, people try to find another, often more dangerous way. Open the border crossing points. The closure harms people on the move and has now a proper legal reasons. Respect the right to asylum. Finland must uphold international law and establish a humane asylum policy that protects everyone. Note the pushbacks. The pushback law must be repealed and Finland must restore its commitment to the rule of law and human rights. These demands are based on values that we hope Finland would send. These demands are also very realistic. Let's be clear. Migration and forced movement of people are a global reality, and no attempt by Finland or EU to close itself off from the world will change that. Borders and walls don't solve problems. They create suffering and deepen injustice. Together we must fight for a future where safety is not the privilege of few, but a right. For a world where safety belongs to everyone. We must reject fear. We must reject policies that sacrifice fundamental principles and the right to asylum for the false promise of security. Instead, we choose solidarity. We choose a world where no one is left behind and everyone is equal. Thank you.
Suunnilleen samat asiat. Mä yritän tehdä sen 2 kielellä ja yritän olla mahdollisimman äänekäs, vaikka vaihdankin tässä ensin kättä. Me kaikki tiedetään, että Suomen ja Venäjän rajanylityspaikat suljettiin vuosi sitten. Kesällä voimaan tuli, siis mä sain elämäni paskimman syntymäpäivälahjan. Se tapahtui mun syntymäpäivänä, kun me seisoimme tässä portailla ja vastustimme käännytyslakia. Mutta 12.7. se joka tapauksessa päätettiin. Ja voimaan tulemisen myötä Suomen valtio rikkoo yhtä tärkeimmistä ihmisoikeuksista ihan joka päivä. Me emme takaa ihmisille oikeutta hakea turvaa silloin, kun ihmisen oma henki on uhattuna. Laki mahdollistaa pushbackit, sen, että me emme tutki ihmisten turvapaikkaperusteita, vaan käännytämme heidät saman tien pois. The Finnish-Russian border has been closed for a year now. The pushback law that came into force in the summer violates one of the most important human rights, the right to seek refuge when one's life is threatened. On totta, että tuolla rajan toisella puolella on julmaa hyökkäyssotaa Ukrainassa käyvä Venäjä. On mahdollista, että Venäjä myös käyttää haavoittuvassa asemassa olevia ihmisiä jossain muualla, turvaa tarvitsevia ihmisiä ja pelaa heidät Suomen rajalle. Tätä uhkaa ei ensinnäkään ole todennettu. Ja se, että tällaisen kuvitteellisen uhkan varassa estetään tosiasiallinen mahdollisuus hakea turvapaikkaa, niin se on päivittäinen ja jatkuva ihmisoikeusrikkomus. It is possible that Russia will just as brutally exploit asylum seekers from somewhere else and create a hybrid threat on the border. This threat has not yet been verified, but it is still used to prevent people's human rights at the border. Suomi, ihan niin kuin kaikki muutkin Euroopan maat, on sitoutunut antamaan turvaa sitä tarvitseville. Me ollaan sitouduttu siihen, että jokaisen turvapaikkaperusteet käsitellään yksilöllisesti ja selvitetään hänen turvan tarpeensa. Rajan kiinni pitäminen rikkoo tätä oikeutta. Se leimaa, se kriminalisoi, se stigmatisoi, se lisää ennakkoluuloja turvapaikanhakijoita kohtaan, koska se väittää heidän itsessään olevan jonkinlainen uhka. Se vahvistaa kaiken aikaa rakenteellista rasismia. Me ollaan täällä tänään vaatimassa, että Suomi kunnioittaa ihmisten oikeutta turvapaikkaan. Rajalle ei koskaan saavu ase. Rajalle saapuu ihminen, ja se ihminen ei voi olla ase. Jokaisella rajalle tulevalla on oma ainutkertainen elämä ja oma ainutkertainen tilanne, ja meidän on voitava kunnioittaa sitä elämää ja kiellettävä laittomat pushbackit. We're here today to demand that Finland respects people's right to asylum. People arriving at the border are no means weapons. They are people, and they each have their individual unique life. And we must respect that life and prohibit illegal pushbacks. Mä oon onnellinen siitä äänestä, joka me ollaan tänään annettu. Meidän on vaan pidettävä yllä vaatimusta siitä, että Suomi ryhtyy noudattamaan itse omia kansainvälisiä ihmisoikeussitoumuksia, kunnioittaa ihmisten perus- ja ihmisoikeuksia ja harjoittaa inhimillistä turvapaikkapolitiikkaa. Loppujen lopuksi se inhimillisyys suojelee meitä ihan kaikkia. Kiitos.
Kiitos, thank you Sanna. Some shouts. Mitä me halutaan?
Raja auki nyt!
Milloin?
Nyt!
Milloin?
Nyt!
Milloin?
Nyt!
2016, I came through the Russian border myself as an asylum seeker. I won't go into the details. What I want to say is it's not easy to cross that border. It's not easy to come through that border. If you have to be so much in need, put your life in absolute danger, not just being there, but put your life under so much danger to cross that border. You have to need it because crossing that border means risking your life. That's point number one. The second point I want to talk about is that I really, as an activist from Pakistan, I just find it very hard to believe that we want people and activists to fight against the authoritarianism and against Putin in this case, but we don't want to accept them when they want to cross the border. It just doesn't make any sense in my head. It doesn't make sense to any person who has any common sense. So yeah, I don't understand it. Once I had the opportunity to ask a person, a very responsible person from the government, and I said, they're like, what is the criteria if, for example, there are no visas, no safe routes. What is the criteria for me as a very privileged Western citizen to tell someone in Pakistan, Afghanistan, Russia, like, how do I tell them to fight your war? Like, and if your life is in danger, like, how am I going to support you? Does my shouts and my protests here help anything? No, it doesn't help anything. Like, we need safe routes. If somebody is in danger, we gotta, like, again, crossing that border, coming to that border already needs a lot of resources and a lot of knowledge and a lot of danger to your life. And when you reach there, it is closed. That's the most inhumane thing you could ever imagine. And the last point I want to say is that it's not just that. When I was crossing this to this border, and then when I was coming to Pakistan, the thing that was sold to me, the thing that was said to me is that these countries, the Western countries, including Finland, this very exotic badge of human rights friendly country. When you come here, you are going to be accepted, you are going to be applying for asylum, and you are going to be living here. No, it's not the case right now. Like, with the pushback and like with these current rhetorics and all that, it's not the case. We are not accepting asylum seekers anymore. So, like, either we get out of these laws all of a sudden, so then we know our fight, then we know our destinations. But if we are part of these laws, of course I will keep coming. Of course I will keep crossing. So yeah, let's get out of these laws first, all the agreements first, be Qatar or Saudi Arabia and be in that group, then it's all good. But if we want to have this badge on our chest, it comes with a price, and that price is me. And we have the resources, we have the space, we have the money to accommodate everyone. It's just lame excuses not to accept people. It's racism, it's fascism. So all the borders, all the time, open, not just for asylum seekers and refugees, for everyone. Thank you.
Mitä me halutaan?
Rajat auki nyt!
Mitä me halutaan?
Rajat auki nyt!
Mitä me halutaan?
Rajat auki!